What's going on, everybody? We have a serious problem. And the problem that I'm going to be sharing with you today is the fact that we have a ton of fake guitar players out in the ether right now.
I don't fake.
Honestly, this has been something on my mind for quite a while. But, I don't know, I've become more of a purist in the years passing as of late. I think part of it is just my own learning experience as a musician and kind of, playing live, leaving sour tastes in my mouth with people playing to backing tracks, including bands that I've been in personally, and, recordings of musicians that really just can't play. Hey guys, real quick, if you want lessons with me and want to learn how to play like this, learn how to play like Yngwie, learn how to unlock the fretboard of your guitar, email me below for a one-on-one private instruction from me, and if it's a good fit, I'll get back to you and we can work together. My email is in the link in the description and the pinned comment. Now back to the video. I want to bring this to your attention because this is also a problem for good musicians, I've noticed as well. I've noticed a lot of unrealistic expectations set for even my younger students. What I'm talking about this is basically that there is a lot of bands putting out music right now that is literally not possible to actually play in real life. Now, this has really bothered me because there's a lot of people on the internet right now that watch Instagram guitar players or even some YouTube guitar players that literally are not actually playing what they portray themselves to be on the video. Now, this would not be a problem except for the fact that these people say they don't fake their videos, which is literally not true.
I don't fake.
Now, obviously, the huge thing just happened with this guy, Giacomo. I mean, this one to me was kind of humorous because the things the guy was portraying to be able to play were not really even that hard. And then the fact that you had to fake that is just like, damn, man, you must really not be that good, because the fact you even need to fake this caliber of playing probably means you really just can't play the guitar at all. And I've seen this a lot more with the newer bands coming out, and I hate to mention it because I'm actually a fan of a lot of these bands, like their music. I have been a fan at some point in my life, and here's how I know this. Okay, I've been playing guitar for 20 years. Sometimes people get mad that I bring that up in the videos. I'm not really sure why, but I say this as just to prove a point because I've been playing 20 years. Usually by the 20-year mark, you've seen almost everything, especially if you're a professional, full-time musician like myself. You've literally probably met some of these people in real life and attempted, if not successfully, played a lot of this music, right? Now, I will say in the case of Polyphia and Periphery, their music is possible to actually play in real life, although in their case, they're kind of level 1 is what I would consider for being a fake guitar player. Now, level 1 is basically the fact that you have recorded your guitars to the grid, and you can play it live, but you have to play it to probably a click track live, maybe a click track that even has vocal cues on the track live, saying stuff like, now it is the chorus, 3, 2, 1, go into the chorus kind of thing, or probably a 4 count, I don't know why I said a 3 count, but that would be level 1 of guitar fakery. They can actually play this stuff live, but more than likely they used MIDI grids to help them write it. I would know because I literally have written gent music for bands, and the way you typically write gent music in the modern age is just MIDIing a bunch of 4/4 riffs and then taking the grid and subdividing it into a crazy time signature where you'll have like one measure of 4 and then a measure of 13/8, and then, see, that doesn't even make any sense, but it does. And then you'll have a measure of 5/4, and you'll just keep modulating the time signature over and over and over and over again. And then you'll listen to it and you're like, damn, this sounds dope. That sounds like gent music. And you would be correct, because that is how 90% of the gent bands actually create their music. Now, there's only really 2 bands that are not guilty of doing this in the gent genre, from what I'm aware and from what I've listened to and studied upon, and that would be Meshuggah and PDP.
The sun runs away with the life it supplies. Silence is born.
Both of those bands have not played to the grid and written their music in MIDI, but actually can play all of that stuff live with a full band and literally no f***s. I like Polyphia. I'm a fan of their music. In fact, their last album that came out, I was really into. But they still are guilty of doing all the MIDI stuff on the grid, exactly like I'm saying. Now, Tim Henson even has an interview where he admits to all of this, actually in many different interviews, so there's really no shame in it. I think it's actually good that he's being honest about these kinds of things, but I also think it's giving unrealistic expectations to the younger generation about what this instrument is made of.
Track breakdown, and then you played your Omnisphere patch with the arpeggiator.
I think this is just the default pattern. It worked really well in this instance. This was a real big bitch to try and figure out how to play.
Is that stuff that you would never come up with unless you were trying to do this, or what?
I mean, they're very unnatural patterns.
That's what makes it sound so cool, though.
Yeah.
Let's talk about level 2 of guitar fakery. Level 2 is people like Giacomo. Here's a guy, we have Giacomo, we got the dude from Rings of Saturn on this level 2 list. Okay, these are dudes that are literally faking guitar parts that you normally would think are possible to play on the instrument that don't sound like some alien crap. I mean, to some extent, I guess you could say Rings of Saturn sound alien. You could even say Dragon Force is in this genre. They're probably in the tier 2 of fakery because really they kind of started the fakery. I kind of find it interesting that Herman Lee is praised so highly as a guitar player because really, I mean, he is good, but like literally did fake 90% of all the Dragon Force riffs from like definitely the first few albums. They're kind of the original fakesters. Dragon Force was one of the first bands that was literally known for speeding up their recordings to make them sound faster. Back in the day, by the way, they were known to be a very horrible live band to see. Every single person I knew that went to see Dragon Force live told me it was freaking terrible. I think they had an epiphany later on in their career that they were like, hey, maybe we should stop doing that and actually try to play what's on the record. But that stain is on their career forever, no matter how you slice it. And I think we should take that into account because to this day, I meet people that are like, Dragon Force is crazy, dude. I could never play like that. And I'm like, you're right. They can't even play like that. Rings of Saturn, their guitar player has another super iconic sweep picking lick that he faked the crap out of. That's been debunked multiple times.
That's exactly what you hear on the recording. I mean, here's the live recordings that they gave us. It's the exact same notes.
There's no shame in like playing a couple sloppy notes when you're just playing a crazy hard thing to play. If I go to play some Jason Becker right now, you know I'm gonna play some bad notes in that inherently, especially if I'm playing it in one take. Now the beauty of it is if you play it in one take, that means you actually are a good musician and you have tried at the piece. There's no reason to just start overdubbing and overdubbing and overdubbing to pretend like you're some virtuosic robot that is better than everybody else. We all play bad notes. Look, I've been playing 20 years. I still play bad notes from time to time. It just happens, especially when you're doing something in one take. You got the pressure, especially if you're live. Sometimes it's even more prone to it. There's no shame in occasionally playing a bad note. We need to stop. Even I've been guilty of overdubbing stuff in the past because I want it to sound perfect for YouTube. I've decided at this point, if I can't basically perform something in one take, I'm not even gonna post it to YouTube. And like I said, in the past, I've definitely done overdubs on stuff. I've definitely polished my work, done the major production, all the outtakes, you know, to try to make something seem real perfect. But now I think, honestly, that is just inauthentic. And I'd rather show you the real me and what I'm actually made of, even if I make a mistake in a video, than just me trying to pretend like I never make mistakes. Because in 20 years of playing, I still make mistakes. So let's talk about level 3. The fakest of all the fake guitar players. So fake that it's actually stupid how fake it actually is. Davin Glover. Literally a clone of Buried Alive, who is the original fakest of the fake of all the fake guitar players. Now this guy literally plays riffs that don't even sound humanly possible. They're so robotic and so unmusical in a sense. They actually sound like electronic dubstep or EDM music. It doesn't even sound like a guitar. This instrument wasn't even meant to sound like this. Now, the only thing I will say about Buried Alive is that at least the guy has been honest about faking stuff. He's pretty much said he doesn't even care if it's fake.
Would you consider yourself an improviser?
Most stuff I do right off the top. Not physically though. Like when I'm writing, I'll hear an idea in my head and then I'll go make it. So my goal was to become really proficient at capturing ideas in real time. I've been able to do that with lots of years training on Pro Tools, training on guitar, obviously, piano, vocals.
I think as long as the expectations are not so unrealistic that you think you can actually play like that flawlessly every time, and that this guy is somehow a crazy robot, inhuman superhero guy, then I think that's cool that he's honest about that. But then we have the problem with the second, who really is the fakest of the fake of all the fakes.
I don't fake.
Davin Glover claims he does not fake anything. Well, I got news for you. He fakes everything. It is literally not possible to make a guitar sound like this. Davin Glover is good at editing his videos. That's what it is. I've been an engineer in the recording space for over a decade. You know how many guitars I've edited in my life? These guitars are so unbelievably edited that not even a noise gate could do the same job that the edits are doing for this guy.
What's up, guys? A lot of people have been calling my playing fake.
I'm just not buying it.
Top string gets muted and all you hear is the tapping. Gotcha.
Yes, there's like production when I'm making this stuff, but that doesn't mean I can't play it. And that's it. I don't fake.
You fake your videos, bro. Now he says, I like to put production. That literally means you edit, bro. That's literally what that means, bro. Davin Glover is setting unrealistic expectations for the guitar. His guitar literally sounds like a MIDI virtual instrument that he cut and pasted, just like we saw earlier in the Tim Henson video, where he pasted a MIDI track, learned how to play it. To Tim Henson's credit, he learned how to play the riff in real life. It still sounds robotic and unhuman to me in a way, but he at least is still playing the thing live, even though it's to a click track. Davin Glover is pretending and telling you, lying to your face, that he has invented these crazy riffs out of nowhere and he's just this crazy. No. Just no. Just no. Davin Glover is literally playing stuff that is not humanly possible to play on the guitar, nor does a guitar sound like this. Guitar is really a blues instrument, especially the steel string. I'm not talking about classical guitar, to all the snobs that just got mad that I said that. I'm talking about steel string electric guitar is primarily a blues instrument. That means when you play all the strings, it is imperfect. It is automatically out of tune. That's just how the instrument was designed. It is not in tune. You could do the fan frets, you could do the weird squiggle lines to try to get it perfect, but it is an imperfect instrument. When you play a single note, sounds like shit. When you bend into the note, sounds good. When you vibrato the waviness around the note and go to different notes with your vibrato, it sounds good. When you slide into a note, it sounds good. It's because it's an imperfect instrument. When you play a note on the piano, sounds good, right? You can't just do that with the guitar. It's not meant to be like that. It is imperfect, which literally, in a sense, kind of says everything you need to know about someone like Davin Glover, who lies to the internet and he's playing perfectly. It's something like that, in a sense, it doesn't really matter to me, right? Like, I watched this stuff and I already knew the guy was fake before anyone ever said he was fake. Like, it was so obvious to me the guy was a fake guitar player, like, you know, but I realized that also, if you don't have the ear for that, you haven't been, you know, versed in this thing for this long, that it'd be very hard to tell, right? You would probably just think the guy's a legend, right? You'd be like, wow, he's amazing. But literally, it's the fakest type of playing you ever could have. I mean, it's like Tom Morello meets Wes Borland on steroids. I don't know. To me, I just feel like it's ruining the entire art form in itself. I would love to see guitar become a very highly respected instrument again at some point in my lifetime if possible. And I'd really like to see people put the humanity back into the instrument, back into the music they're making. At this point, in a sense, I've kind of started becoming a purist again, where I want all live musicians on my recordings. All the music I make, I'd like to be able to actually play it and not punch in every single thing. Because even I have become guilty of these things over time, just because it's convenient, right? I have Pro Tools, I have a studio. You know how easy it is for me to punch in stuff if I want to? I don't want to do that, because it's not real. It's not even like it's just disingenuous to the listener. It's just disingenuous to me, the musician who has spent time putting my effort into the craft for 20 years. I think we should stop doing this, and I think everyone should go and practice right now and become better, and we should start making real content. Maybe you hate this video. I don't know. Leave it in the comments below. If you want to study with me and you want lessons, email me below. The link's in the description and the pinned comment. State your case, and if it's a good fit, we can work together. With that being said, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one.